All right, guys. Did you get anything done during this weekend? Were you productive? Did you work on that business? Did you work on those investments? Uh, did you pick up some extra hours at your job? That's what we're going to talk about today. And then I'm going to touch on the markets, the crypto markets specifically, since there was a lot of volatility over, today there was a lot of volatility. And then probably take a look at the stock market as well to see what's going on with that. But yeah, so if you work a 9 to 5, the weekends are an important time to get ahead. So we can't be wasting our weekends not doing much. And if I work a 9 to 5, and the thing that I see most is you see like a lot of the employees. I would say 90 to 95% of employees will work so hard at a corporation where they really don't get any equity. They really don't get any, unless they're like unless you're like a CEO or a VP in in whatever field you're in or whatever company you're in, you're not going to get too much equity or shares in the company to be giving all your efforts to that job, right? So, I find it funny that most people would go all out, and these are talented people. Like these people have a lot of talent, and they use it all for the job. Like they don't, once they clock out, they don't put any effort into any of their dreams, their passion, and those things. If they put the same amount of effort that they put at the job, I think a lot of those ideas, those dreams could come true, right? So it's important that we work the weekend. So that's why I wanted to start this live stream with that question. What did you do this weekend? My weekend was very productive. I worked on stuff for the channel. I brainstorm about new topics to discuss, and yeah, it's always and that's one key thing too. Like you need to get something that you're passionate on working on. A lot of people say, "Oh, if you're not like, it doesn't matter if you're passionate about it or if you don't love the topic." And I disagree with that. I think you need to at least like it. I would say at least if I had to put a scale from 1 to 10, I would say you need to like it at least 6 out of 10, right? Because you're not going to want to waste your weekends, working on that thing if you don't really like what you're doing. Especially if you already worked, you worked your 9 to 5, and like you're tired, right? So the only way you're going to have the energy to do something on the weekend is if you really like it. So for me, that was the YouTube channel. I made sure once I created, like when I created the YouTube channel, I made sure to I made sure not to be too niche, right? Like I could have gotten a lot more subscribers if I wasn't as broad. Like financial nutrition is like very broad, like the name. And that's why I picked it, because I could talk about anything. It doesn't have to be specific or crypto. Like most people are like, "Oh, you like crypto a lot, so why didn't you do like a crypto channel?" Well, I don't want to be that specific. I didn't want to be tied down. I felt like if I would have went very specific, I would have not liked, doing content for the channel. I hate talking about the same thing all the time. So I didn't want to be crypto specific. I didn't want to be real estate specific. I didn't want to be stock specific. So, obviously it's taken the channel a lot more to grow, but when I'm making the content, it's first I have a lot more variety to choose from, and then two, again, I'm not talking about the same crap. So it's easy to work on the weekend and put some hours in, after I worked a long week at work. Now, I'm also putting in time during the week. Obviously today, Monday, after work, I actually just clocked out, and I'm already putting time in on, during the week, right after the week. So not only the weekend, but, we just got through with the weekend. So I thought it was fitting to pose that question, and see what people have been doing over the weekend. Most of you probably didn't do much, right? Most of you probably, spent time with family, and that's not a bad thing either. But, you got to, this is for people that want a financial change. Like, if you don't want a financial change, then go ahead and just, spend your time with family on the weekends or friends. But if you want to change your financial situation, you're going to need to you're going to need to work the weekend. Like, you're gonna, because again, if you have a 9 to 5, most likely you're starting at what, let's just say 8 o'clock in the morning. You're not done until 5, and most people are tired, so you're not gonna get much done during the week. I mean, you could, like I said, if you have the energy and stuff to do it. But I say, when I was starting the YouTube channel, most of the stuff got done during the weekend. So yeah, that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Being productive on the weekends, that's very important. And yeah, make sure you're getting stuff done during the week again, and the week too. So yeah, also I put out a new profile picture. I put out a new banner. The banner says, I'm trying to think. Okay, so it's 4 categories. It says investing, it says discipline, patience, and saving. And I believe investing is 30%. Discipline is 30%. And then patience 30%, and savings 10%. So some explanation about those percentages for those of you that took a look at the new banner. Investing, I'm not talking about like actual physically like investing, like going into an exchange, going into an app, and actually, investing money. Although that could be that, it could mean that, but I'm also talking about the research that goes behind the investing, the time it takes to find out what investments actually work, right? So that's the reason for the 30% for investing, and I put 30% for discipline and patience, just because I think if you want to make money in the markets, you're gonna need some discipline and you're gonna need some patience, and I think that's as equally important as investing. Now, saving is 10%. Most of you would be like, oh, well, if you're investing 30%, how can you be only saving 10%? Like, again, so that's where it goes to. It's not 30% of physical investing. It's spending time looking for the right investment, right? 30% of your time. It's not, the actual physical action of investing. So that's what I wanted to, I just want to let you guys know. I put out a new banner, new profile pic. So let me know if you guys like it. So yeah, so that was this. I just wanted to throw that out there. And then the markets, let's talk about the markets. So the first market that I want to talk about is the crypto market. So crypto has taken a beating, right? Bitcoin has cracked 40,000. I think it actually bounced back a little bit, so it might be over. I think it was just at 40,000 right now. So, but a lot of you might be thinking that are in the crypto space that are investing. Oh, why? We just had spot BTC spot ETFs approved. Like, why would Bitcoin be crashing? And I think it was a buy the rumors, sell the news type of event, because it's going to take time for people to buy into these ETFs. Like, first it had to get approved, so that was a big part of it. But then 2, you needed to get retail investors to start investing in the ETF. Now, obviously, it's a spot ETF, so like the BlackRock, Bitwise, all these people need to buy buy physical Bitcoin. So I definitely think we saw a spike up into the news coming out, but that's why we're seeing some sell-offs now. Because one, two, you got to also realize that we have bigger people in the space, so they're also going to be manipulating the price as well. And I think, I had a feeling this would happen. I had a feeling that Bitcoin would fall down after this because we're not, we're close to the Bitcoin halving, but we're not as close to where the news of the ETFs would have aligned. Now, I felt like that would have been too bullish for the market to handle. I honestly feel like people are, you know, the big players, they know what they're doing. I think that they this was planned somewhat to have the BTC spot ETFs like approved, a little bit before the halving. I think that would have been too bullish for the market. I think Bitcoin would have shot up until like 80,000 if you got the halving and the ETFs all go together. But it is gonna affect the market. I just think, after the halving, it's gonna follow the typical market cycle for crypto. So, but yeah, I think we're seeing a good buying opportunity. Not financial advice, but I think a lot of people's favorite altcoins are on sale. I think BTC is on sale just for the fact that I think it's going to double. I definitely think we're going to get to 100K by the the end of 2025. I would say. I'm not going to say the end of 2024. It is possible. I think it is possible. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, we're at. Let's see. Yeah, we just cracked 40,000 again. So yeah, we are. It's a lot of selling going on. So I think we'll have this for the next few weeks. I think we're gonna get an altcoin rally. So I think people that are in altcoins, I think in the next few weeks, we'll probably definitely see some some altcoins jump depending on which altcoins you're in. But yeah, definitely. I say that all to say, make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you are keeping up with the markets. So that way, when there is an opportunity like this, when everything is down, you could probably, add to your position, lower your cost. Maybe you bought an asset at $10. Now it's selling for $4. You still believe in the asset. Well, if you did the research, then why not add to that position to lower your cost basis? So that way, when the bull market does begin, you will, you have lowered your cost basis and you could potentially get out of the investment sooner if that's your plan, right? So, but yeah, that is the whatchamacallit. That is my take on what's going on in the crypto market. The stock market. Let's see. The stock market. What's going on with the stock market? Let's see. Let's look at the S&P. S&P. All right. So it looks like the S&P is up, right? And I'm just looking at, the broader index. Yeah, so the S&P is up. Let's look at the Dow. I'm pretty sure the Dow Jones then today is going to be up. Yeah, so it looks like stocks are up. So it looks like, the riskier crypto sector is down. And I think, again, it's just market manipulation. They said something about GBTC. And I think, and I'm trying to remember, is it Grayscale? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say the name because I don't remember. But I think it was like I don't think they're a backed, I think they're like a futures Bitcoin holding company or something like that. It's basically something that follows the Bitcoin movement. So I forget the abbreviation. I don't know if it's, I think it is Grayscale BTC or GDBC. But I heard they were selling, so maybe it has to do with that. Obviously, somebody has to be selling, all right? And I think the selling pressure is overwhelming the buying pressure right now. So that's why we're seeing a dip in the crypto market. But the stock market looks like it's doing well. I guess I can look at some, like, let's look at Tesla and see what Tesla's doing. All right, so Tesla's down. Let's look at Apple. Apple stock. Apple's up. All right, so yeah, I think overall the stock market is up. Tesla's down a little bit. I like to look at, so what I like to do is I like to look at the major indexes, the Dow Jones, the S&P, to see, okay, is the overall market up or the overall market is down? Then I'll take a look, just look at like the bigger player, like big individual stocks like Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, just to see like, what they're doing. And that's typically what I do for the crypto space. I'll look at BTC, I'll look at Ethereum to see, because they typically run the market, but you always have, like, altcoins run on their own sometimes as well. They typically follow what BTC and Ether is doing, but you're going to get altcoins that run on their own. But yeah, I'm trying to see what else. Real estate, I haven't really been keeping up with the real estate market. But I've been seeing, well, also what I've been seeing is a lot of job cuts. Like a lot of companies are cutting jobs. So, just to go back to the first point, your job for the most part, unless you're like high up there, and even those people, I've been seeing a lot of people in like upper, like directors and stuff like that, companies getting cut. So your job is not secure. So that's why it's so important to be putting work in on the weekend to build something that can supplement, that primary job, and maybe one day actually take over, because they are cutting, man, these jobs are cutting like tens of thousands of jobs, and you could just be let go. And obviously you have experience if you're working at a big corporation, if you have a degree, but it's still going to take you some time to get a new job. You're not just going to get, unless you've been, like applying on the side or something like that. But again, I say all that to say it comes down to stability. You don't want to be in that position where you're like, oh, they're going to cut me. Like, oh, things are going down. Like, they're doing bad. You don't want to be in that position. Or at least, you are in that position, but you're like, I got this side thing going on. And, if it goes south over here, then I have this to depend on. You have some assets that you can say, okay, I can pull on these things until this thing over here gets situated. But if you don't have that all together, and somebody lets you go, now you're like, okay, you might be good for 2 to 3 months. If you don't find a job, you might be in a situation where now you got to dip into like investing accounts and savings accounts, and then those things don't really get to mature because you're pulling out of those things to cover your living and just get by for the next however long it takes you to get a job. But yeah, that it's very, scary to lose your job, especially. I'm not sure I'm not sure if January is a good time to be looking, or like most people like look, like, is there a lot of jobs open during January, like January to February? I'm trying to think. I feel like it would. Maybe it does align. Maybe you can, like, maybe a lot of people are looking for new people to hire during this time period because it's the beginning of the year. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when's that time period where like companies are looking for new employees. So, but yeah, it's still, you don't want to be in that situation. And if you are in that situation, at least, you've been working on that thing. And even if that thing doesn't provide you Um, like if it doesn't provide you money, just keep working on it. Obviously, I have a rule of thumb. If you don't see any growth within 3 years, I would say get rid of that thing. But if you're under 3 years, keep working on that business or investment. So one day it'll take off and then bring you some money, so you don't have to worry about somebody laying you off or whatever your case may be. But yeah, um, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get on and talk about, productive weekends as number one. And then two, the markets seem to be volatile for crypto. And then the stock market seems like they're doing okay. There's not too much movement there. Um, yeah. And I'm trying to think about what else did I do today. Anything else I could share financially? Um, nope. Oh, I put out a video yesterday. So I put out a video yesterday, 5 financial quotes that you should live by. I'm not gonna spoil it here, but I appreciate it if you go watch the video. And I think those quotes are good quotes that you can live by in 2024 and beyond. That's the title of the video. I think it's a really good video. I think they're really good quotes. Now, I like the quotes. I didn't really do too much research on the people. Um, I mean, besides their title and stuff. So, but I'm more just extracted their quotes. So I'm not sure, their background and stuff like that. I mean, but again, besides their title and their name, I don't really know much about them. But I thought they were really good quotes, and um, I say all that to say, because I don't know their background. So, but you could always take the good from people and not the bad, right? You don't have to throw what is the saying? You don't have to throw the bath water out with the baby or something like that. So yeah, I took their quotes. I thought they were good. I thought they were inspirational quotes, and I thought they had good financial lessons behind them. So yeah, make sure you watch that video. I put it up Sunday, and yeah, I think it's a good one. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you guys tuning in.